Hey guys, I just wanted to show you real quick how to take this thing apart. Your WASR, for you new WASR guys out there. I want to show you real quick how to take it apart and lubricate it and clean it and stuff like that, alright? So let's get this done real quick. In the back, always make sure your rifle is unloaded. Even if you're 100% sure it's unloaded, do it anyway, because I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Alright? People die if they don't check. Anyway, in the back of your rifle here, you push this button in with your thumb, and you lift with this hand, it pops right off, right? Slide your spring forward and out of its slot. Pull this all the way back out, and slide right out, no problem. And there's a little lever right here, you just want to pull it all the way up into the 12 o'clock position. And if it hurts your fingers to do that, on your toolkit, there's a set of slots here on the side. One of those fits that, and you can use it to lever it up, okay? I'll hold it in place and just pull it right out like that. It's real simple. Okay? So, the clean. You can take a bore brush. I'm not going to do all the cleaning right now. I'm just going to show you guys what to do here. Take your bore brush or your regular old cleaning stick here, cleaning rod with the slot on the end. You can put a couple of these in it at a time, and you can I recommend using the bore brush, like a plastic one, for your gas chamber here. You just swirl it around in there. It doesn't have to be 100% clean. It won't interfere with the function of your weapon or anything, but you don't want to have a whole lot of stuff built up in there. Then you take your cleaning rod and you run it down here through your weapon, in and out several times. Change out your swatches if they get too filthy. And then before you decide to put it all back together again, you want to put some kind of gun oil on a clean one, and just not a whole lot of oil, just a little bit. You need to run it through the barrel again, and that'll keep that nice and lubricated in there, and it won't rust or anything on you. Okay? This here, you want to clean it off as best as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this place right here, you can put some gun grease just right here in this little groove this runs in, just where the metal touches metal. You just want to lubricate metal on metal parts. If you want to, you can lubricate your slide here, where all this slides back and forth. You can even put a wee little bit on the hammer down there too if you want. No big deal, it won't hurt anything. Okay? Now let's stick this back together, and I'll show you a couple of little tricks real quick, alright? Put it back together. You want to make sure your lever here is in 12 o'clock position. So I like to hold it with my one hand while I pop it in, just like that, simple. The first couple times you do this, a lot of your parts will seem pretty stiff going back together, but after you've done it, a half dozen times or maybe less, it'll really start to come back together real easy. Once you know what you're doing, you know exactly everything goes back together. Don't get frustrated. It comes to you, and the gun loosens up a little bit. You slide this back in, and you settle it all the way at the back here. You don't slide it forward or anything just yet. Settle at the back and push it down, and it fits nice and snug there. Then push it forward. There you go. Your spring goes back in. Push forward a little bit and get it in its groove here in the back. It's seating. This goes in. You don't want to put it like flush against that. You want to lift it up just a little bit so it fits in that slot down there. You don't want it flat on there. You just lift it just a little bit, get it in its slot. And once it's in the slot down there you go. You push down with your thumb back here. There you go. You're all back together. I love it. Alright, real quick, show you something here. There is a little button at the base of the front sight, and you push it in like this towards you, alright? And that lets you screw your muzzle brake off. It's threaded there. Unless you have a version that's welded on, that muzzle brake will slide off. It'll screw off. I think it's reversed though. I think instead of righty tighty, it's like righty loosey. But once you get that off, you can put any other kind of muzzle brake on there that you want. I also learned how to use the little multi-tool sight adjustment here. It's got 2 prongs like a fork, and there's a hole in between those 2 prongs that goes down into the body, and that fits right over your front sight. That hole goes right in there. See how it sticks up like that? And your multi-tool has a set of slots on it. Like I said before, you pick the skinnier slot, and I'm going to knock it over because I'm not, as you can see, I can't. There we go. And you can use it to turn back and forth, to wrench that back and forth. And clockwise lowers it, so that'll make you shoot a little bit higher. And counterclockwise raises it, so that'll make you shoot lower. And if you're trying to pull it out, you want to do it counterclockwise. It'll come all the way out. All right. Stuff I didn't know at first.